give us some idea of where you're looking to find financial benefits from an SD-WAN implementation.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple of places, and I'm going to flip it back over to David, because David was instrumental, which is to us in Stewart, specifically for me and the CIO, in regards to helping me with some initiatives around cost cutting. But it's going to be instrumental from a management perspective, right? From a people perspective, and although it will need less hands-on to manage it. I've told my folks that we will reallocate our resources to focus on the inside of our network, more on the LAN side, and more of in closer to the applications. So where we really want to play now is in the as close as possible to the applications, so our resources can be more more supportive to the business community and the clinical community. From a cost perspective, David has helped me, and I'm going to flip that over to him and let him speak a little bit about the financials piece.
Yeah, from a cost perspective, every customer is completely different because they all start in a different place. So you could start with someone that has not looked at the network in a while, or like Stewart, they've grown by acquisition. So you're working with what the acquired company was using. And I go through a process where I figure out what they have and then try to optimize it as much as we can with the SD-WAN technology. But what SD-WAN really lets you do is it lets you buy what you need and build as much resiliency and redundancy as close to the customer as you need to have. So in Stewart's case, we have a lot more bandwidth. We've got a lot more resiliency in our large facilities. We've been able to do the same thing at the smaller sites at a smaller scale, obviously, but you can really drive cost out of the straight IT piece of the business. Maybe like you said, it'd be great to have a whole nother call, but you can talk about all the infrastructure that this eliminates the requirement for too. And it's on and on and on into the closets, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. And David, you and Mike talked last week a little bit, and the word I keep throwing out on when we think in terms of platforms and software defined is agility. And you guys drove that home. It's, now there's options, not only on the IT side, but on the business side. And, acquisitions take a lot of resources, a lot of manpower. And when you have the right set of tools, you can layer them in and make those transitions a lot cleaner, just a lot easier. They're going to be complex no matter what in healthcare. They're always complex. I mean, different packs, 900 applications, you're going to have complexity. But if you can take that core level of, network, storage, system, compute, you just take that whole layer and say, look, we can put this fundamentally underneath, and our team can manage it like we normally do. It makes those transitions a lot better. And Mike, that's what you were driving home to me last week on the call.
Absolutely.
So